Long Ridge community. Man, where do I even start? The seamstress, the bakers, the farmers, the butchers. You know what? I think I got something.
Lord, I need you. Lord, I need you. Lord, I need you. Lord, I need you. Lord, I need
Good afternoon. I'm the son of Charles and Gladys Droz. My name is Charles Gerald Droz Jr. And I grew up in this New Hope community, and we were a very tight-knit community. We had several families in this area, and we cared about each other, we loved each other, and we were always there for each other. We played together, we prayed together, we went to church together, and we just showed love for one another. As children, we would meet and play, and we had to make sure that we were back home before dark, because if it wasn't, it was trouble. We also had an opportunity to show our love and concern for one another by making sure that when we have, everyone have. We shared everything with each other. When there was a project to be done, there was help from the community, not only from one family, but several families. We were a farming community, and my dad had a farm, and we grew tobacco and corn and soybeans and just a little bit of cotton. And we also had a neighbor, George Lee Stevens. He was a farmer as well, and he grew corn and tobacco. And in the tobacco season, we would help each other out. There were many early mornings that we got up, 5 o'clock in the morning, took tobacco out of the barn, grabbed some breakfast, and we were back in the fields by 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. We've learned that from working on the land that hard work doesn't hurt anyone. And we also learned that working together makes the task even easier, because we understand that teamwork makes the dream work. And we came together to accomplish things that benefited not only us individually, but us as a community. And we loved each other, and we cared for each other, and we showed that love and concern for each other. We also understand that it created in us a strong work ethic, and it made us understand that anything worth having is worth working for. And that translated over into our later lives. When we went out on our own, we understood that it was important to be punctual. It is important for us to understand that when we are at work, that we are to be serious about what we're doing, and understand that, we can't allow sometimes personal feelings to interfere with what we have to do on our jobs. I think it's very important for us to remember and reflect on the distance that God has brought us as we celebrate this Black History Month. We came from being workers of the land to having jobs in major corporations and doing things that we really never imagined that might be possible for us to do in our early years. And our parents always made that sacrifice to make sure that it was impressed upon us to be the best that you can be, and encouraged us to move forward. And as we reflect back during this Black History celebration, we just give thanks and praises to our forefathers for the wisdom that they shared with us, and encouragement that they gave us, and the support that they gave us as they encouraged us to move forward and move to the next level. And we thank God for them. We thank God for all that they did to help us to be the people that we are today.
Good afternoon. My name is Dorothy Haynes. I'm the daughter of the late David Gibbs and Gladys Mazik Gibbs. Baking was a tradition in our family for me as a child growing up. Everything that I learned about baking, I learned it all from my mother because I never knew any of my grandparents. As a child growing up, I can remember my mom baking, and for Sunday dinner, we would always have the lemon pound cake. That was her specialty. She would always bake that lemon pound cake or just a plain pound cake. Some Sundays she baked potato pies, or we would have coconut pies. Christmas time, she would bake fruit cake. During the week for breakfast, she made homemade biscuits. And I learned how to make the homemade biscuit just from watching her. It took me a while to get those biscuits right. And, well, I should say it took me some years to get the biscuit right, because I didn't think my biscuit came out as soft and fluffy as my mom's biscuit. But my biscuit is edible, and I've gotten much better with the biscuit over the years. The baking goods that I specialize in, once I started baking, of course I started off with the pound cake, and how my baking really got out, or how people actually knew about baking. I can recall a friend and a former co-worker of mine. Her church was having a bake sale, or she wanted to do a bake sale as a fundraiser. So she knew that me and my mom baked cakes. So she asked me if we could do a bake sale for her church. And the plan was that her church would buy everything that we needed for the bake sale. And I told her, well, you're going to have to make it simple, because right now we basically did the sour cream pound cake and the lemon pound cake. So she would let people know those were the only two cakes they could put their order in for. So anyway, we did that, and once she brought her order to me and I looked at what all she needed, well, I just wondered what in the world I've got myself into, because she received a total of 63 orders for cakes. But between me and my mom, we did the baking, and I guess we got a percentage of the cakes from, what we baked. So that's how my baking got started, and I never thought that I would be baking, as a part-time job, or just say baking, for a profit. Up until this day, my friend, she tells people, and different one, that she made me famous. Because ever since we did that big sale for her church, I've been getting orders ever since. What I have learned from my experience in baking that I would like to pass down to future generations is, first of all, whatever you do, you're going to have the passion and the love for it. Because I always tell people that I'd rather bake any day. I can stay in my kitchen and bake all day long. I'd rather bake than cook a meal. That's because I love to bake. Whatever you do, you have to have the love for it in order to stick with it. And if you're serious about it, you take your time, do it right, because if you're going to bake and you're baking for other people, you want to make sure that what you're giving them, that it tastes good. And I've learned just from baking those pound cakes or whatever, it led me to look up recipes and bake a lot of other cakes other than just a plain old pound cake. One of my favorites I can recall baking was a carrot cake. And when my dad was still living, I remember my very first carrot cake that I baked. Oh, he just loved that cake and he could not get enough of it. And he would ask me, when are you going to bake another carrot cake? So you have to have a love for it. So I have a passion for baking, and I still bake cakes up until this day.
Walking up the King's Highway, walking up the, I'm walking up the King's Highway, I'm walking.
Being a baker, I feel, shaped my identity because I feel that I have done the best at baking that I could possibly do, and because I learned from my mother, learned from talking to friends, co-workers, other bakers who bake, and just from us sharing different recipes. And I feel that this has influenced my community, because what I would do during Christmas time, I would bake cookies, fruit cakes, pies, and whatever, and I would share with everyone in my community, but not just the people in my community. I share with friends, co-workers, and also, different ones at church. And I feel just by doing this, the tradition is continuing to go on and on and on.
My name is Leon Simmons. My parents' name is Franklin Simmons and Maggie Simmons. And I grew up on this farm here. We planted sugar cane across the street there, and that's the cane mill behind him. I raised sugar cane, and we grind the sugar cane in that mill behind him, and also we cook the juice and make syrup. It take a little while to make a batch of syrup. Maybe I would say 3 hours to make a pan of syrup. But it was very interesting, and me and my brother helped me, and I raised hog here also. I sent my children to college off a hog, and I raised corn to feed the hogs, and I also grew tobacco. We had cotton and soybeans on the first go-round of my livelihood. But after that, I went into watermelons, sweet potatoes, and collard greens. That's where I made the profit from, of my watermelons, sweet potato, and collard greens. I did very well. But first you have to get your ground cultivated on time, and the main thing is planting on time and get a good crop. I did very well doing watermelons and okra and collard greens. So I planted collard greens, sweet potatoes, and watermelons on the last, let's say, 10 years of my farming. But I also plant all the cucumbers, zucchinis, and squash. But I did very well. And my brother helped me. My brother Fernwell, he helped me also. And we didn't have too much of labor. We mostly did it ourselves. And when we get ready to sell the watermelons, we retail a lot, and then we sell a lot wholesale. The retail is where we made the money at. The wholesale didn't do as good as the retail, but we did good on the watermelons. Collard greens was good also. Equipment, when it breaks, you have to have the right person to repair it because the expense is so high, you can't hardly afford to pay. When you get ready to purchase equipment, you need to go to the right salesman so you can get the right price for your equipment. Because equipment went so high, you can't afford to buy equipment now. Hay baling, we used to do hay in square bales, and now it's modern time. You have the big bales, and you have to have a big bale to bale your hay for your cows, and that's very important. I made a little money doing cows, but at the first go round, it was very cheap. Didn't make too much money. The middleman and the buyer make the money. The farmer didn't make too much money off cows. The achievement that I'm proud of when I was on the farm, working on the farms, was watermelons. Watermelons, I made a lot of profit during the watermelon season. If you had a good season.
Yeah! Romano brought that sauce again.
Mook got the keys jumping.